Dad. Welcome to yoga. Yoga with Tessa. Hopefully you enjoy it. I'll keep it moving, but also have some good explanations and alignment cues, and try to incorporate a few poses that are going to be especially good for you and your body. So for this practice, you'll need 2 blocks and a strap. And let's get going. So come on up to the front of your mat. I'm just going to stay right here for now so you can see me better. And without changing anything, just look down at your feet. Notice how you're standing. Notice if your feet are facing out or turned in. Maybe they're wide, maybe one foot's in front of the other. Just start to notice. It's good to observe that because it can give you clues as to what's going on in your body. For example, if your feet were turned out, even just really slightly, that might mean your outer hips are really tight, kind of pulling your feet out to the side, and your inner legs are getting weak, or are weak, not strong enough to kind of pull them back in. So those are 2 things that are really common in athletes, and that yoga can help to bring balance to that part of our body. That's kind of the whole idea of yoga, is to bring balance. So now you can adjust your feet. So try to make your feet parallel. So if you drew a line from the second toe to the middle of your ankle, that's the line that you want to make parallel with the edges of your mat. And then take your feet about hip width distance. Lift and spread your toes. Feel your legs engage when you do that. Spread all your toes out. Root down through all 4 corners of your feet. And then slowly set your toes down. Maybe you can set them down one at a time. Either way, just keep your toes spread out and keep your legs engaged as you set your toes down, and then gently hug your legs in towards each other like you were hugging a block between your legs. Keep all that engagement. Inhale, get tall from your waistline up to your armpits. So your shoulders will float up towards your ears a little bit. And then exhale and relax them back and down your back. But stay relaxed and heavy in your arms. Lift your chin slightly and take your throat back. So now your ears are over your shoulders, shoulders over hips, hips over heels. Nice standing alignment. Now you just created a lot of space for your breath. So let's stand here for one more moment. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Exhale through your nose. One more like that. Inhaling through your nose. Hold it at the top. Exhale through your nose. Let's add some movement. Inhaling through your nose and reach your arms up. You can gaze up towards your hands. And then exhale your arms wide and down, hands to heart. Try it again. Inhaling to reach. Exhaling your arms wide and down, hands to heart. Last one. Inhaling to reach. This time keep your arms up. Hold your left wrist with your right hand and side bend to the right. Send your hips way out to the left. Keep your belly strong, drawing your navel towards your spine. That helps protect your back here. And then inhale, reach up. And exhale, side bend to the left. Send your hips way out to the right. Inhaling to reach up. Exhale, bend your elbows. Find cactus arms position. So make 90-degree angles with your elbows. And then inhale, press your elbows back toward the wall behind you and broaden your chest. Exhaling, give yourself a hug. Round your back, bow in now. Inhaling, find those cactus arms, press the elbows back, lift the heart. Exhale, give yourself a hug, opposite arm on top. Inhaling, cactus arms, and then exhaling, relax your arms, bring your hands back down to your heart. Inhaling to reach. Exhale, this time fold forward, bend your knees quite a bit, and fold forward. Bring your hands to your shins. And take a couple breaths here and forward fold. And then slide your hands up to your knees. Push into your knees and inhale. Come up halfway so you have a flat back. I'll turn sideways so you can see a really long spine. Exhaling, fold forward. Inhaling, come up halfway, hands to knees. exhaling to fold. One more, inhaling halfway up. Stay here for your exhale. Draw your legs towards each other. Wait for another inhale, and now you're going to stand all the way up, reaching up. Exhale, your arms widen down, hands to heart. Keep moving. Inhaling to reach. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees a lot. Let your head go. Be heavy. Inhale, come up halfway. Long spine. Exhale, bring your hands all the way to the ground and step back to hands and knees. So you're on all fours now. Check in with your hands. Walk them back so they're right underneath your shoulders and your wrist creases are parallel with the front of your mat. And then your knees are right underneath your hips. We'll do cat and cow. So inhale, drop your belly towards the ground, widen your sit bones in the back, and slowly look up, arching your back. Exhale, push the ground away with your hands. Draw your navel towards your spine and look towards your belly. Inhaling. Belly drops toward the ground. Drag your hands back towards your knees. Arch your back. Exhaling. Push the ground away. Look towards your belly. One more. Inhaling. Drag your hands and knees towards each other. Exhale. Push the ground away. Draw your navel towards your spine. Round your back. Look towards your belly. And then inhale, just come back to a neutral spine. I'm going to face forward again for this next one. You can see me a little better. You can stay just like you are though. And this is called half downward facing dog. So keep your knees right underneath your hips and your knees stay down on the ground for this one. And then you're going to start to walk your hands forward until you have about a 45 degree angle more or less at your hips. Good. And then really root down through all four corners of your hand, and especially push down through that index knuckle, in the knuckle right underneath your index finger and your thumb. So you're really pushing down through your inner hand. Good. Lower your head so your ears are right between your biceps. And then lift your upper arms slightly away from the ground, up toward the ceiling. And turn your triceps in towards each other. So you're rolling inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Keep all that engagement, and then you can push into your hands and lean back a little bit. Half downward facing dog. Hold this pose for a few breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling. And on your exhale, walk your hands back in. Good. This time, find your blocks and bring them up toward the front of your mat. Turn them up the tall ways. Good. On your hands and knees, you're going to inhale and stretch your right leg straight back. Keep the ball of the foot, maybe I should turn sideways again, sorry. Keep the ball of the foot on the ground for the first part. Good, and push back through your heel. Engage the leg so all the muscles are strong. Push back through your heel. Just getting a light stretch in your hamstring and your calf. Good, and then inhale, lift the leg. Exhale, bend the knee, take the leg all the way up to your hands. Bring it up to the outside of your hands, and then wiggle it in. So that the foot is right between the hands now. And this is where the blocks come in handy. Take one block in each hand, turn them up the tall way, and take them right around your foot. Good. And then push down into both legs. So the right heel in the front is pushing down and drawing back, and the left knee in the back is drawing forward. It's like your legs are scissors and you're trying to close the scissors, so you're drawing them towards each other. Keep that energy, and then inhale, get tall from your tailbone all the way out to the crown of your head. Maybe you need to come up onto your fingertips to do that so your back is long, your spine is long, it's not hunched forward and rounded. Get long, get tall. Good. And then take that foot back to the outside of the blocks. Take your hand, just step back to your knees and take your hands back to the ground. Good. Inhaling, stretch the left leg back. Keep the ball of the foot on the ground and push back into the heel. Keep all the muscles in the leg engaged. I'm on the opposite leg of you, so don't get confused, but this is your left leg back. Good. And then inhale, lift the leg and step it forward. Start with it on the outside of your hands and then wiggle it in between. So that can be a little trick to help get the leg forward when you're doing yoga in other classes. Step it to the outside and then wiggle it in. Bring your hands to blocks, one block on each side of your foot. You're just bringing the ground up to you a little bit here. Push down into both legs. So the left heel is pushing down and drawing back. Right knee pushing down and drawing forward. Keep that energy. Inhaling, get tall from your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head. Feel your shoulders come down your back a little bit. So you're broadening in the chest. Lift your chin slightly and take your throat back. Inhaling, enjoying the space you just created. Exhaling. Take the foot outside of the blocks, hands to the ground, step back to all fours. Good. Get your blocks out of the way for a moment. And then get your hands so your wrist creases are parallel with the front of the mat again. And now we're going to do full downward dog. Push down into the index, the knuckle underneath your index finger and your thumb. So the inside of your hand is really rooting down. Good. And then roll inner shoulder to outer shoulder. So your triceps roll towards each other. Keep that engagement. Tuck your toes under in the back. Good. Start to do a little bit of cow pose, so your belly drops just a little bit toward the ground, and see how my sit bones reach up toward the ceiling and widen. So I'm getting that curve in my low back. Then lift your knees just a few inches off the ground, and widen your sit bones again. Get even a bigger curve in your low back. Exhale, set your knees down. Take your spine back to neutral. Keep the engagement in your hands and your arms. And then try it again. Tilt your pelvis forward so you get that curve in your low back. Push down into your toes and lift your knees. Good. Turn your sit bones up toward the ceiling again. Get a bigger curve in your low back. This time, push your hips back towards your heels. Keep a big bend in your knees. And then start to slowly lift your hips toward the ceiling. Don't straighten your legs all the way. Keep a nice bend in your knees and keep trying to reach your sit bones up toward the ceiling so you don't lose that curve in your low back. It also helps to widen your feet as wide as your mat. Stay on the balls of your feet. Keep your knees bent. Send your sit bones back up toward the ceiling. Get that curve in your low back. But don't lose the engagement in your hands. Root down through the knuckle under your index finger. Roll your triceps in towards each other. Inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Send your sit bones up toward the ceiling. Exhaling. Set your knees down. Take your knees wider, like as wide as your mat. Big toes touching, and find child's pose. And if child's pose is a little bit challenging, take a block, and you can use a block for your head on any setting, whatever feels good to you. And your hips don't have to come all the way to your feet either. So maybe your child's pose is like this. That's fine. That's great. Take a little rest. It's really nice to have something for your head though. So if it doesn't reach the ground comfortably, find something to rest it on. No shame in using props. Okay, walk yourself back up to all fours. Keep your wrists right under your shoulders again. Inhale. Stretch your right leg long. Exhale, take it all the way up to the outside of your hands and wiggle it in between your hands again. You can use your blocks to help you here, creating more space. Tuck the back toes under. Inhale, straighten the back leg this time. Push your feet down into the ground. Scissor your legs towards each other. And then inhale, both hands to your right knee. Exhale, push your knee away, round your back, look towards your belly, And inhale, take your hands up to your hips. Now if you're feeling wobbly, you probably need to take your feet wider apart. That will help with the balance. Also, keep pushing your feet down and drawing them towards each other. Keep that strength, that gives you stability. Now notice I have a little bend in my back knee. Keep that bend in your back knee. Also, your back heel, try to point it straight up toward the ceiling. Push your feet down, draw them towards each other. Now lengthen your tailbone toward the ground. Okay, so feel your low belly engage and also feel more of a stretch in the front of your left hip, this back hip. We're going for that hip flexor stretch here. Good, you can bend a little deeper into the front knee or not, you can stay lifted a little bit. Exhaling, take your hands back to the blocks, step back to hands and knees. Good. Take a break between sides, come back to all fours. Inhale, stretch the left leg long. Exhale, step it up to the outside of your hands. Wiggle it in between. Get your blocks ready again. Tuck the toes of the back foot under and inhale, straighten the back leg. Good, now it's tempting to put the heel down, but that takes your hips out of alignment. So try to stay on the ball of the back foot. Point the heel up toward the ceiling. Push your feet down into the ground, draw them towards each other. Scissor your legs together. Inhale, both hands to the left knee. Exhale, round your back, bowing in. Inhaling, hands to hips, come all the way up. Keep a little bend in your back knee. Especially if you're feeling an intense stretch already in your hip flexor, then bend the knee a little more in the back. You don't want to overstretch either. Keep drawing your legs towards each other. And then lengthen your tailbone toward the ground. So it's like almost like you're scooping your tailbone down. And that you might feel your low belly turn on, and you might feel more of a stretch in the front of this right leg. Exhale, both hands to the ground. Back to hands and knees. You can get your blocks out of the way. We won't use them for a little while. Back to hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. Let's find downward facing dog one more time. So get that curve in your low back. Widen your sit bones. Lift your hips and then send them back towards your heels and then up toward the ceiling. Let your head be heavy. Downward facing dog. Push the inner hands down into the ground. Roll inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Start to slowly walk your hands back towards your feet. Keep a big bend in your knees. Standing forward bend at the back of your mat now. Walk your hands up all the way to your knees. Push into your knees. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale here. And then inhale, stand all the way up, reaching up. Exhale your arms wide and down, hands to heart. Release your arms. Give yourself a moment just to adjust again to being upright. And then I got a little exercise for us. So come over to a wall. I'm going to stand in front of this heater because hopefully you can still see me there. And take your feet wide, a little wider than your hips. Get real close to the wall. So it's like you want to give it a kiss. Start with your hands on your hips. Make sure your feet are parallel. And then what we're going to do is called wall squats. And this is really important for the health of your low back. So if you can do just 5 of these every day, it's going to be really great. And it's going to really help your posture and everything on your weightlifting too. So tilt your pelvis forward to start. Tilt your pelvis forward like you're sticking your butt out. Your sit bones are widening and I get this big curve in my low back. You might not be able to get this big curve, but that's what you're aiming for. Good. And then start to sit back and notice how the curve in my back gets even bigger as I sit. Good. Sit, the weight's in my heels. Maybe you can lower your hips all the way to your knees and then inhale, slowly stand up. 5 of these. you stand, you can lengthen your tailbone back toward the ground and then stick it back out, like you're sticking your butt out. Feel your pelvis get wider in the back. Good, 2 more. Go slow. And if you want, you can try for this last one, reach your arms up as you sit back. Much more advanced. And then take your hands back. Good job. 5 wall squats. Come back to the front of your mat. Stand with your feet hip width distance. And then take a big step back with your right foot. Remember, I'm doing the opposite of you, so just listen to the words. The right foot's back. And then you're going to take your left foot and move it a little bit to the right. So if I drew a line from my heel straight back, it would land with at the inner arch of my back foot, right in the middle. You can start with your hands on your hips. My front toes are pointed straight toward the front, back toes a little bit toward the front. Inhale, actually reach the arms, and then exhale, bend the front knee until the knee is right over the ankle. Push your heels down and draw your legs towards each other again. Look over the front hand. This is warrior 2. Notice your breath here. And notice the strength and stability you have in your legs. You've created such a strong foundation here. So take confidence in that strength. Then we'll move to side angle. So bend your arm and take your left elbow to your left knee in the front. Take your right hand to your hip to start. Don't forget to keep drawing your legs towards each other. Now what you don't want here is to collapse. Okay, so push into that elbow to get length in this underside, and then broaden your shoulders so your shoulders are squared off with the side wall. Okay, instead of the ground. Open those shoulders up. If you can't get it like this, then come up to your hand. Okay, so if you're on your elbow and you're hunched forward, come up to your hand. Good. And then take the right hand and reach it forward, straight in front, palm facing down, and then hug the shoulder back into its socket. Keep the hand at this level, reach it overhead, palm facing down. You can look straight ahead, maybe look up toward the ceiling. Push down into your feet. Inhale, come all the way back up to warrior 2. And then exhale, release the arms and straighten the legs. Turn both feet to parallel now. So you should be facing me. And get your blocks ready. Get your strap ready too. We're going to use the blocks first. So just put them straight in front of you. Turn your toes in so they're a little bit more in than your heels. So you're a little bit pigeon-toed. Push your heels down, draw your legs towards each other. Pretend like you were standing on 2 ice blocks in the middle of the ocean and you don't want to fall in. So you're drawing your legs towards each other. And then use your hands on your hips. Push down into your hips. See if that can help you to grow a little taller. Good. Inhaling, press your elbows back toward the wall behind you, broadening your chest. Exhaling, hinge at your hips and start to fold forward. But only go as far as you can with keeping a flat back. Okay, so if you feel your back start to round, then come up a little bit so you can have a nice flat back. Keep widening your sit bones, sending your hips back toward the wall behind you. A lot of your weight's in your heels here. Good. And then bend your knees and start to reach for your blocks, but bend your knees as much as you need to reach the blocks without rounding your back. So you're keeping your back long. Keeping your spine straight. Good. Check in with your head. You want your neck to be a natural extension of your spine here. So you're not looking up and crunching your neck, but you're also not dropping it, putting a lot of pressure on it. Just keep it long. Keep this length in your spine. Lean your weight back into your heels if it's not there, and take your hands back to your hips. Draw your legs towards each other. Wait for an inhale. Stand all the way up. And then start to wiggle your feet in just a little bit to take a little rest. Shake your knees out. And then take your feet wide again. We'll go right into the second side. So turn your right toes toward the back of the mat now. Turn your left toes a little bit toward the back. So your back foot's at an angle. And you have heel to arch alignment with your feet. Inhale, reach your arms. Exhale, bend the right knee until the knee's right over the ankle. Keep drawing your legs towards each other. Gaze out over your right hand. Relax your shoulders down your back. Warrior two. Feel your strength, feel your confidence. Enjoy your breath here. Take your right elbow, start to reach it for your right knee. Turn your palm to face it up and take your left hand on your back hip. See if your shoulders are rounding forward and facing the ground. Try to open your chest up so your shoulders square off with the side wall. If you can't get it like this, then just come up to your hand. That's totally fine. Either way. Then reach the arm forward, the left arm, palm facing down, and suck the shoulder back into its socket. Keep the hand at this level and just slide it up overhead. And then you can keep looking forward or look underneath the left arm. This is called side angle pose. Push down into your feet strongly, drawing them towards each other. Inhale, come all the way back up to warrior two. Exhale, bend into your warrior two a little deeper, and then inhale, come out of it. Parallel your feet. Hands to hips. Turn your feet in a little bit more than your toes in a little bit more than your heels, and this time reach for your strap. Take your strap behind your back and hold it in both hands, and your palms are facing the wall behind you. Okay? Get strong in your legs. Draw your feet towards each other. And then inhale, turn your palms in towards each other now. So see how my chest broadens? My shoulder blades draw closer together as I turn my hands in towards each other on my back. Good. Inhale, get tall again from your tailbone all the way to the crown of your head. Exhale, hinge forward. Send your hips way back and start to fold. Eventually your back's going to round this time, and that's totally fine. You can round your back, start to lift your hands away from your hips. Keep pulling your hands away from each other also. And then release the strap. Stay in the fold. Take your hands to your hips. Point your elbows up toward the ceiling. Feel your chest broaden when you do that. Inhale, come up halfway to a flat back position. Draw your feet towards each other. Inhale again and stand all the way up. This time reach up. Exhale and release your hands and heel toe your feet back together. Keep your feet actually a little wider than your hips. Release your arms. Let your arms be super heavy. And you're just going to twist side to side. Let your arms just hit against your sides as you twist. Just wringing everything out. You can come up onto the ball of the opposite foot each time you twist to the side, which feels really nice. I love this. I could do this all day long. I hope it feels good for you too, Dad. And then slowly come to a stop. Feel like a whole new person after that. Okay, I have one more standing pose for you. You're going to use the wall again. And what you're going to do for this one, come over to a wall and take your right foot back again. And this time you want only maybe 2 or 3 feet between your legs, so it's a shorter stance. And then start with your hands on your hips and encourage that right hip forward so your hips are squared off with this wall. Your legs are straight for this pose. And engage your legs. So make all the muscles in your legs strong. Start to hinge forward at your hips. This time the left hip really needs to reach back. Reach the left hip back. keep a long flat back and then reach your hands up to the wall. So now you can push into the wall. I need to come away a little bit more from the wall so that you can walk your hands down the wall, maybe. So you're going for this nice stretch in the front hamstring, and you're going to get that even more by drawing the left hip back. Draw the left hip back, push the wall away from you. Keep a long flat back. Good, nice stretch for the hamstrings. The tight hamstrings are so common, but can be so problematic also. They just pull down on your back, and they can cause a lot of back pain, hip pain. So just lengthening them back out, giving them time to lengthen is so important. Okay, walk back in towards the wall. Take a breath here. And then second side, step the left foot back. You can be on your mat or not. It's okay either way. And this time my heels are kind of in alignment. Front heel is in line with the back heel, or your feet are hip width, either way. Good, start standing up straight. Encourage the left hip forward so your hips are square with the wall. Engage all the muscles in your legs, and then start to hinge forward. Really reaching back with this right hip. This point right here is really drawing straight back, really actively. Then you can reach for the wall and use that wall for support. Push into the wall. Draw the right hip back. Draw the heel, push down into your heels, draw them towards each other. And then inhale, get long for your tailbone out to the crown of your head. This pose is so therapeutic for your back and your hamstrings, which go hand in hand. The hamstrings take a lot of patience in order to open them back up. Okay, slowly walk in towards the wall. Release your arms and just come back to your mat. I'm going to get the blocks out of the way so that you can see me. Come up to the front of your mat again. We're going to work our way back down. Actually, we're going to work our way down to the ground. Feet are hip width distance and parallel. Legs are strong. Shoulders are down your back. Chin is lifted. Inhaling, reach. Exhaling, bend your knees, fold forward. Let your head go. Inhale, hands to knees. Come up halfway, long back. Exhaling, hands to the ground. This time, step straight to plank pose. You might need to use your hand grips, which is fine for plank or any of the poses on your hands. Good. Draw your hands towards each other. Draw your feet towards each other. Draw your hands towards your feet and your feet towards your hands. Everything's drawing towards the middle. Feel all the muscles engage. Good. And then you're going to come forward and down. Try to land with your wrists right underneath your elbows. So push the ground away. Slowly lower. Wrists land underneath your elbows. Point your toes. Push down into the tops of your feet so your legs engage. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels so your belly engages. Peel your shoulders away from the ground so your shoulders come on your back. Now inhale and slowly push into the ground, coming up to cobra. Doesn't have to be a big one. See how slowly you can lower back down, using the muscles of your back to lower. Good. We're going to try a different version. Take your hands wide off your mat. Come onto your fingertips. Keep all that engagement in your legs and your belly. Peel your shoulders away from the ground again. Inhaling, cobra. This one invites a little more space by having your hands wide. Exhaling, come down. Regular cobra again. Hands underneath your elbows, tops of the feet push down. Lengthen your tailbone. Peel your shoulders away. Inhaling, rise. Maybe a little bit higher. Exhaling, slowly, 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 slower, slower, lower, slower. All the way down. Make a pillow for your chin, rest your head, and just wiggle your hips side to side for a moment. I got one more nice strengthener for your back, which is another really important way to prevent back pain, is to stay strong in your core and all these muscles in your back. So lengthen your arms, taking them right next to your sides, palms facing up. Push down into the tops of your feet to strengthen your legs. Lengthen your tailbone toward the ground, and then inhale, lift your head and chest. Now lift your legs. Spread your toes, turn your legs in. Lift your arms. This is locust, so you can feel like a flying locust. Keep your shoulders peeling away from the ground. Legs are strong. Exhaling, set it down, make a pillow for your chin. Shake your hips side to side. Good. One more time. Hands by your sides, palms face up. Push down into your feet. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. Inhale, lift your head and chest. Lift your legs, lift your hands. Breathe through your nose calmly and fly. Exhaling, release. This time, make a pillow for your chin, bend your knees, and windshield wiper your feet side to side. Take both feet to one side and then the other. Side to side. This releases any tension in your low back, and it can also be actually a little massage for your quads, especially if they're sore. And then lengthen your legs long again. Slide your hands back underneath your elbows. Tuck your toes under, and inhale straight up to plank pose. Good. Set your knees down. Shift your hips to one side, swing your legs around. Scoot up to the front of the mat, taking a seat. Hug your legs towards you, one hand on each shin, and hug in. Try to get tall in your spine here. Peel your shoulders away from your knees. Get long from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Lengthen. See if you can keep all that length in your spine and let go with your hands. Palms face up. Oh, nice. And then draw your navel towards your spine. Get strong in your belly and slowly roll down to your back. Once you get to the ground, enjoy the support of the ground underneath you. Good. So now that you're on your back, walk your feet in close to your hips so that your ankles are right underneath your knees. Your feet are hip width distance and parallel. And then hug your elbows in real close to your sides. Push down into your elbows, lift your shoulders off the ground and draw your shoulder blades slightly closer together, then set them back down. Keep hugging your elbows in, fingers pointing straight up. Push down into your heels and your elbows, lift your pelvis off the ground. So your hips are lifting up toward the ceiling. Now be careful that you're not clenching your glutes. Relax your glutes. They're still going to stay engaged, but you're not clenching them. Push your heels down into the ground, draw them towards you. Keep hugging your elbows in towards each other. Bridge pose. Lift your chin slightly. This is a back bend. It's an energizing pose. And it's also healing for your back, strengthening for your hamstrings, opening for your chest. Exhale, set it all down. Stay in this position and just take your arms long on the mat. Take a breath and then we'll do it one more time. Slightly different this time. Hug your elbows in towards your sides again, starting the same way. Fingers point up. Push into your elbows, lift your back up. Take your shoulders a little closer together on your back and then set them down. Good. Now push down into your heels. Draw your heels towards you as you lift your hips. This time, straighten your arms and reach for the edges of your mat. Grab them so all your fingers are underneath your mat, your thumbs on top, and then pull the mat away from you. Pull your hands away from each other like you're trying to rip the mat. Now, rock onto one shoulder and roll the other one deeper on your back, and then switch sides. So again, you're rolling inner shoulder to outer shoulder. Now you're resting on your triceps more. But don't move your feet. Keep your feet parallel. Knees right over ankles. Relax your glutes a little bit. Push into your heels to lift your hips higher. Lift your chest higher and lift your chin slightly away from your chest so your neck's not crunching. Inhaling, broaden your chest, lift your hips. And then exhaling, release, set it down. Untuck your shoulders, rest flat on your back again. Now inhale and gently hug your knees in towards each other. So this next sequence is just a really nice sequence to do every day. It's another, just a section of the practice you can isolate and do on your own. Keep hugging the right knee in. Take the left foot to the ground. So now I'm actually doing the same one as you. Don't get confused. This is your right leg hugging in. Good. Reach for your strap. Find it. Get it handy. Keep hugging the right knee in. And then start to straighten the right leg, kicking the foot up toward the ceiling. Use the strap around the ball of your foot. And keep kicking the foot up until the leg is straight. So you can let go of the strap as much as you need to get a straight right leg. Also, you want your shoulders to stay relaxed and on the ground, your head relaxed and on the ground. So none of this. Keep your chest open. Straight right leg. Walk your hands up enough so that your arms are straight, but your shoulders are still relaxed. As you gently pull down on the strap, the ball of your foot is kicking up into the strap. Another nice stretch for the hamstrings. And then take this right foot and move it just a few inches to the left across the front of your body. It only takes a very slight movement to feel a big difference here. You might feel it in your outer leg. I tend to just feel it deeper in my calf when I just move my foot just a few inches like that. It's kind of crazy. Keep breathing. Relax everything that you don't need. So let go of everything that's not serving you in this moment, in this pose. As your mind starts to wander, just bring your attention back to your breath. Noticing your inhale. Noticing your exhale. Hold both sides of the strap with your right hand now. And then straighten your left leg out. You want to keep your left hip rooted down on the ground. Left leg is strong and engaged, foot is flexed. Now start to take the right leg out to the right without letting the left hip pop up. Keep that left hip down. So just take the leg out as much as you can with keeping the left side and the left hip down. It might just be a tiny bit, or it might be a little bit more. Inhale, take the leg all the way back up to center. Bend the left knee again. Get rid of the strap for now. Cross the right ankle over your left knee. Good. Gently push the right knee away from you. Flex the right foot and spread the toes of the right foot. You can just stay here, pushing the right knee away from you. Or you can reach for your left hamstring and pull it towards you. If you are rounding your back and hunching your shoulders, don't do this. It's not worth it. So another option is you can take the left foot to a block and cross the right foot over. That will deepen it. You're going for a stretch in this outer right hip. So a lot of times this is enough. Another option, you could go to a wall, put the left foot on the wall, and cross the right ankle over. This is super nice. Push the foot into the wall. Gently push the right knee away from you, keeping the right foot flexed. And then exhale to release. Uncross the legs. Take both legs long for a moment in between sides. And notice a difference between sides. The right leg may feel longer, but also notice how it's meeting the mat. Maybe it's sinking down deeper. Maybe it's heavier. Maybe it's flatter. Just notice. Bend both knees again. Hug the left knee into the chest. Use the strap around the ball of your left foot. Start to kick the foot up toward the ceiling. As you gently pull down on the strap, kick the ball of the foot back up into the strap. Relax your head and shoulders. Let the leg come away from you as much as you need to straighten it. And the other thing you want to do is stay soft in this hip flexor. You're kind of pushing this hip away from you. You can use your hand and your thumb in the hip crease to push down and away if you want to try that. In an intense pose like this, it can be easy to focus on the pain or to focus on when it's going to be over. But see if you can challenge yourself just to focus on your breath and not worry about anything else that's going on. Take the left leg and move it just a few inches across your body to the right. Admire how a subtle change can make such a big difference. Straighten the right leg out, engage the right leg. Flex the right foot. Hold both sides of the strap with your left hand. Keep the right hip down. You can even use your hand to help you do that. And then open the left leg out to the left. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. Inhale all the way back up. Bend the right knee. Get rid of the strap. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. And take whatever variation you did on the first side, maybe staying here, pushing the knee away from you. Maybe elevating the foot onto a block. Maybe elevating the foot onto a wall. Or maybe hugging in the hamstring or the shin. Just keep your upper body relaxed. You just did a lot of work to open your chest and keep your shoulders down on your back. So don't counteract all that and waste it by hunching forward here. Keep this left foot flexed. Spread the toes of the left foot. That protects your knee It also engages this muscle and deepens the stretch. Exhale to release. Kick this block out of the way if it's there. Uncross your legs. Actually, get the block. Get that block back. One more pose with the block since you have it. Hug it between your knees. Take your arms out to the side like a T. Inhale to lift your legs. Knees are over hips at a 90-degree angle. And then lift your hips up. Shift them a few inches to the left. And start to drop your knees down to the right. Just go as far as you can with keeping the left shoulder down. And then you can take your knees all the way to the right. Now your left shoulder can pop up, but you're encouraging that left shoulder back toward the ground. The block between the knees is optional, but it just allows for some extra space in your hips. Draw the left hip away from the left armpit. Inhaling, try to broaden your chest with each inhale and use that broadening to get your left shoulder closer to the ground. Inhale the knees back to center. Shift the hips back to center. Lift the hips. Shift them a little to the right. Drop both knees to the left. Press the right shoulder back towards the ground. Reach the right hip away from the right armpit. Breathe. Expand the chest with each inhale and see if you can broaden the chest more to get that shoulder down more. Inhaling the knees back to center, hips back to neutral. Get rid of the block. Now you can really get rid of it. Hug the knees in. Take the knees wide out towards your armpits. And then release the feet to the floor. Start to lengthen the legs out slowly, one at a time. Use your hands to draw the flesh of your buttocks out from underneath you. Roll the feet in and out a couple times, and then just let them rest out to the sides. Make sure your feet are kind of wide on your mat. And then take your arms to your sides. Push down into your arms to lift your back slightly. Draw your shoulder blades a little closer together and then set them back down, which is a lot more comfortable. Lift your chin a little bit away from your chest. Now melt. Melt your body into the ground. Take a few minutes here to rest. Don't skip this rest. This is the part where you can start to experience all the benefits of your practice. So relax your feet, relax your legs, let your hips sink down into the ground. Soften your belly. Feel your shoulder blades get heavy and sink into the ground. As they sink down, your chest will naturally broaden with no effort on your part, but just notice your broad chest here. Open heart. Arms are long and relaxed, palms facing up, as a gesture of receptivity. Open and receptive to whatever benefits you can receive from the practice. Chin is slightly lifted. Let your head be heavy. Relax your jaw. Soften your tongue. Let your eyes be heavy. Feel them sink back into their sockets. Let go of any engagement you're still clinging to. Even the breath just flows naturally on its own. with no effort on your part. But you can still notice it. Keep some awareness on the rise and fall of your belly with each inhale and exhale. Know that here you are in the exact right place, doing the exact right thing right now. Take confidence in that and take rest. Now, without changing anything else, slowly start to deepen your breath. Expand a little bit more with each inhale. Exhale all your air out. Slight contraction of your navel at the end. Belly, draw your navel toward your spine. Deep inhale. Long, slow exhale. And then start to wake your body up with some gentle movements. Maybe you wiggle your fingers and toes. Turn your arms and legs in and out. You can gently turn your head side to side. If you want, you can take a lazy stretch with your arms overhead. Get long from your toes up to your fingertips. And exhaling, hug your knees in towards your chest. Roll to one side. Enjoy a few breaths there. Keep your body relaxed and your head heavy. See if you can make your head be the last thing to rise. Push into your hands and come all the way up to a seat. I encourage you to sit on a block or a blanket or something tall to create some more space for your back and your hips. And then I invite you to bring your hands together at your heart center as a sign of gratitude to yourself, to your yoga practice, and to all your fellow yoga practitioners. I know I am so thankful for you, Dad, and all the opportunities you've given me in my life. And I hope this practice blesses you. Namaste.